Ayo, and welcome to the Fuzzy Loaf Podcast, where two ding-dongs talk about what's going on in news and pop culture. I'm Scott, that's
Matt.
All right, and there's not a lot to talk about, really.
No, there's really not.
4th of July weekend.
Yeah.
So we're just going to wing it with the little bit that we got.
Yep.
Matt, what did you want to talk about first?
Let's start with the bummer first, because I feel like if we save that for last, then...
We don't want to go out on a sad note.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay,
What's the bummer?
The bummer is Cinemark is seeking to regain legal fees against the people of the Aurora shooting. So there was victims who tried to sue Cinemark, claiming that they had liability. Ultimately, Cinemark was found not liable for the shooting, which makes sense. I don't think they were. There was nothing they could have done to prevent it, aside from like crazy shit like having metal detectors everywhere.
Anything reasonable besides looking into the future.
Yeah.
You know.
And in the state of Colorado, and there's a bunch of states around the U.S. that if you win the legal case, you can regain any legal fees that you had to spend to defend yourself from the plaintiffs.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing. And this is a very bad move for them, because it just makes them look like
because I can understand them wanting to, but like they're also a big company, and these were people that were hurt.
Yeah.
Or, lost people. And it's like it's fucked up.
It really is.
Because because obviously Cinemark, you wouldn't find them liable.
No.
It's like, unless it just is crazy. But I also understand these people like trying to take someone to court because they've got medical expenses and whatever that they can't afford now that they weren't planning on. So but you don't like go back and try to get money from these poor people that were hurt. Like, that's just gonna make you look like super assholes.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough situation because, like, I can see where in a business mind they were like, oh yeah, this totally makes sense. But then it's like you have to take a step back and like think with empathy for the people in these situations. These are people that either lost family members in the shooting or were injured themselves. So it's like you're going to now ask for like tons of money from them. Like it's just a bad situation.
It's sad, and I mean there aren't really any Cinemarks around our area.
Yeah.
So I don't have to really worry about boycotting them.
Yeah. That's what a lot of people are doing.
I'm an AMC guy anyway, so.
Fuck yeah.
Got that Stubbs rewards, baby.
I'm all about them big evil corporations. As long as they got nice comfy chairs, I'm all for it.
You get that $10 every time you spend $100 and share it with my roommate, so it's like, hey man, we racked those points up. We get free pop and candy all the time, free movie tickets. Great. It's worth it. Mm-hmm. Especially if you go to the movies every week like I do, so. All
right, let's move on to the next thing.
Okay,
so the next thing you wanted to talk about, a little bit more about this than I do, is the Marvel has said that there will be a new status quo later this year, set in place by the current events.
Of whatever. Yeah. I don't know. They released this poster. I didn't really pay much attention to it because it just seems so stupid. It's another divided we stand thing. I don't know if you saw the poster.
Yeah, I have it pulled up right in front of me.
But I just want to talk about not even like so much this, as it's more just like, Marvel, chill the hell out for a little bit.
Cool your jets.
Marvel has had a new status quo every year for like the past 5 years.
Not only that, but you have to think, so Secret Wars just finished. Maybe it was the end of last year, but it was, or no, was it?
Probably like early this year.
Yeah, because everything got pushed back.
Long, yeah.
But, and then now already we're starting on Civil War 2, so it's like we didn't even have time to gestate and like really get a look into how the universe has changed.
The current status quo.
Yeah, and then they've already changed it again, and now they're going to change it again. Not saying like they're doing a reboot or any big, huge event, but
they're just like shifting people around, and it's at least when DC did the New 52, which I didn't like, they stuck with it for 5 years.
Yeah,
Marvel's changed their I'm saying status quo because it's no like reboots or anything. I mean, they had the Secret Wars reboot, but that made sense. And it like wasn't even so much as really a reboot. It was more of like a cleaning up kind of thing because all the old continuity stayed in place. But they just keep changing all the time, and it's just so stupid. It's like it's eye rolling. You know, you're like, okay, dude, just take a chill pill for a little bit.
Yeah. I want to continue getting to know like these characters in this universe and how it's changed post Secret Wars. And already I was reading the Civil War issues that you borrowed me, and it's like I already feel like they're trying to change it too much from what it just was, and it's like, can we just have a minute?
At least 1 minute.
Yeah. But we'll see. It might be good. Who knows? I just think they're trying to make it too much of like we have this big thing, we have this big thing, we have this big thing, because I think they're trying to drive comic sales again.
I hate this Marvel thing where it's every year there's an event, a big crossover event that needs to stop, or at least take a break and maybe like a crossover event every few years.
Well, and it's one of those you have to
exhausting.
think if you have a monthly comic, you only have 12 issues per year.
Right.
If you have a bi-monthly, you have 24. Like, how much of a story can you really tell in 12 issues, especially when, no offense to Marvel, but...
They do a crossover every year.
Not to mention, their comics seem to be getting shorter and shorter and filled with more and more ads. Like, there's less and less actual stuff in the comic.
Right.
So it's like
Plus they cost $4 or whatever now.
That's one thing that I'm very happy with.
Rebirth?
With Rebirth is seriously...
Drawing the line.
Yeah, it's so good.
Oh, yeah.
At $2.99... Draw the line.
Draw the line at $2.99.
Yeah. But anyways, I don't know. That's that.
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll see if it's any good. But
I'm not even reading any really Marvel comics right now anyway.
Yeah.
I've just kind of... Except I read all new different Avengers. I'm still reading. That's like, I think, the only one. Because I think the others I'll just probably get in like collections later. Like Silver Surfer.
That's my problem with a lot of them.
Black.
And this is something that's kind of spoiled me reading on Comixology as well, is not having to deal with the fucking ads. I'd much rather just wait until it's a collection, buy it on Comixology for half the price of what I would have spent just buying the trades or buying the single issues, and then not having to deal with ads.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know. Whatever. It's just Marvel. Chill out for a little bit.
Take a breather, man.
Just a little bit.
All right. Third thing. This is something I don't know much about, and you sent me. Draco Malfoy, or the actor that's played Draco Malfoy, is joining Flash for season 3
Tom
as a season
Felton,
regular.
I think his name. I thought that was cool. I didn't really know what else to talk about it because his character is some random character that's not really in the comics or anything, and he just plays like another like Central City police officer or whatever who's suspicious of Barry or something. But he's gonna, I don't know, he's a big name and he's gonna be a series regular.
Yeah,
so.
I thought that was interesting. I don't know what he's done besides Harry Potter, but even just having done Harry Potter, he's still a pretty big name to be attached to a CW TV show. Not talking any shit to CW or their TV shows, but
right, no,
they're usually made pretty much on the cheap.
You're basically saying it's a get for them.
Yeah,
like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see what his character kind of plays out to be. Yeah. If they try to tie him into a character that already exists.
Because they do that a lot, and it's like the whole Jake Garrick and Zoom thing was just a mess.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad I stopped watching after season 1 because it just season 1 was so good.
Yeah,
and then season 2 just started off with like a fucking whiff, and then just sounded worse and worse the more I read about it.
We'll see what happens with season 3.
Yeah. All right. The last thing I have is Pixar doesn't have any more sequels planned after 2019 for right now. So I think I'll have to double check what it is. I thought it was Toy Story 4, but it might be Incredibles 2 is the last one.
Toy Story 4 comes out before Incredibles 2? Dang.
Yep. Toy Story 2 is out on June...
Toy Story 4.
Toy Story 4 is out on June 15th of 2018, and June 21st, 2019 is The Incredibles 2.
Oh my God, it's like 15 years between
Exactly
Incredibles
15
movies.
years.
Wow.
Yeah, but what I did like was he was doing an interview. One of the guys from, I'm just trying to scroll through to see if I can find his name, but I'm not going to be able to see his name in this article. He was doing an interview with Entertainment Weekly, I believe, and they were talking about how they're working on new and original ideas, and their idea from the start was always to do 2 original projects for every sequel. But the way it's panned out is they've done more original projects over the last couple of years than sequels, and now they're like kind of catching up. And their idea is that they don't want it to be forced. So if somebody comes to them with a good idea for a sequel, then they want to go forward with it. Right. Or if they come up with a good original idea, they want to go forward with it. They don't want to force either way. And I can totally agree with that. And they said they have 4 new original ideas that they're working on, 2 of which will come out after Incredibles 2, and then the other 2 they're working on right now to see if they're viable. Because I don't know if you listened to the Geek History lesson about Pixar.
Oh yeah, I listen every week.
Yeah, and it was really interesting to hear more about it. And I've watched a lot of documentaries about Pixar. Like they'll sometimes do like behind the scenes stuff on the Pixar DVDs. And it's really cool to see how they go through this idea process where it's like they come together, everybody pitches ideas, and then they give them time to work on it before they, like a normal studio, you'd be like, I have this idea, and unless it gets greenlit right there, they're like, you're not working on this, you're working on something else. Whereas Pixar's like, work on it, bring it to me when it's like you have a solid idea.
It's more like, it's almost like a writer's room for a TV show.
Exactly.
It's TV series more than it is.
They're not like super strict about discipline either. So there are animators who have come to them with story ideas, and they're fine with that. Or they have story people that come together with like, oh, here's this little drawing I did for this guy that I have an idea for. And It's like totally cool.
Yeah. And they build off from there. Yeah. That sounds very similar to like a Simpsons writer's room where they'll come up with like a basic like plot idea or premise or whatever, and they'll put it on note cards. And like that note card could sit there for years on their wall or whatever until someone finally like cracks a story for it or something, you know?
And I think that's a really noble way to go about making things versus just like typical Hollywood is like, well, is this going to sell? No, then don't work on it. Right. Stop wasting my time.
Right.
But cool. That was it.
Oh man.
And we're only at like 14 minutes.
Oh man.
Jesus.
Well, what do you want to talk about for 45 minutes?
I don't know.
I thought of a music minute.
Okay.
So for music minute this week, I would say I saw some movies that had some in the past 2 weeks that had really good soundtracks to them.
Oh yeah.
So I would say check out the Neon Demon soundtrack. The movie was batshit insane. Soundtrack is good. And check out the Swiss Army Man soundtrack. Both are on Google Play and Spotify. And iTunes.
I am definitely going to check out Swiss Army Man. So Swiss Army Man, the music was done by the vocalist from Manchester Orchestra. I'm not going to remember his name right now. But it was really cool when the movie was first coming out, or like the first trailer was put out. He did a behind the scenes thing, and he had been contacted because the Daniels did a couple music videos for them, and they wanted him to do the music. And he had sent them some ideas, and they were like, that's really cool, but we want you to do just vocals. And he's like, what do you mean just vocals? He's like, we have this idea where it's like it's all just going to be like vocal soundtrack instead of like strings or instead of like a band. And it turned out really fucking cool. Andy Hall. So I thought that was really fucking sweet.
Yeah. So yeah, and then for the Neon Demon, it was Cliff Martinez who did Drive, all of the Nicholas Winding Refn films.
Yeah.
And he also is now, I just saw this, doing the music for the Wolverine 3.
Okay, sweet.
So that should be awesome because his music is one of the best parts of Refn's movies.
Yeah.
So
I've noticed that a really good soundtrack can take a mediocre movie and make it like watchable.
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, this is a really good soundtrack. I could watch this movie again, even though it's not great.
So, yeah, that's my Music Minute. Check out those 2 soundtracks from those 2. Swiss Army Man, great. Neon Demon took me, I think I talked about it last week.
Yeah.
Took me a little while. I'm starting to come around on it. Liking it more. Definitely still has a ton of issues. But I still want people to go see it. Excuse me. Well, they still can. So I can talk about it.
See, to me, that sounds like Eternal Sunshine, where like everybody talks about how great that movie was. I saw that movie and was like, I don't know how I feel about this. I watched it again and I was like, I can't tell if I like this or I'm like deeply disturbed by, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a thriller.
Some people
or a horror
love
movie.
Eternal Sunshine.
Yeah, and it was one of those movies where it just like it was so weird and somewhat abstract and whatever, but like,
well, yeah,
it's so emotionally
Neon
concrete.
Demon is like basically starts off as like a weird like trippy music video that turns into an Eli Roth film.
Yeah.
So I want to know what people think of it, because it's just one of those movies that progressively gets crazier and crazier, and you're just like, what, like over and over again.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I still want to see it while you can, because it's not making a lot of money.
Yeah,
it's not going to be in theaters for much longer. No.
Yeah.
When I saw it, was the only one in there. My friend, she saw it. She was the only one in the theater. So. And then Everybody Wants Some is out on digital.
Yeah, you keep saying it. I gotta remember to
see that. I'm gonna buy it when it comes out on Blu-ray in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So
I suppose I might have to wait till then to rent it on Redbox or something.
Probably is my favorite movie of the year so far. Still, so
I wish renting movies digitally was as cheap as Redbox. It really
it's always
doesn't make sense to spend $5 to rent the movie when I could spend $10 to buy the movie, but I also don't want to buy the movie, if you know what I mean.
Right.
I don't necessarily want to buy a movie the first time I see it.
Sorry, I was making a list of movies I've seen so far this year, and I've already seen a lot. A lot of them though have been really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about for like another half hour?
I don't know, man.
It's kind of just like a random bullshit episode, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, 4th of July weekend. There's not a lot going on, and
no, we'll probably get more when Comic-Con happens in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's been real slow.
Yeah.
Lego Star Wars: The Force Awakens came out. I heard that's fantastic.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I want to play it, or I want to buy it, but
I probably won't play it.
The only BS is that they did like the stupid pre-order bonus bullshit where like you can't get all of the content. Like some of it is only Sony, some of it is only Microsoft, and some of it is only at GameStop, and some of it is only as
That's
so
so
it's like
stupid.
Yeah, and so it's like there's some characters, if you want to play the game as some characters, you have to buy at a certain place. And that's fucking stupid. I wish they would just not do that ever.
No. That's worse than DLC.
Yeah, because you couldn't buy it even if you wanted to. Like, if you bought it from somewhere else, you can't just get it. I don't know.
I know. At least like with DLC, sometimes maybe like, oh, we weren't able to get this character yet, but we could get this character in now, so you can, get it or whatever. But like, no, that's stupid. That's capitalism at its worst.
Yeah. Well, and what it is places will, like, Sony might have approached them and said, hey, we'll account for X amount of marketing dollars and push it more on the PlayStation Store if we get this exclusive. And Microsoft probably did the same, or GameStop,
or whatever.
Similar. Like, we'll give you,
or Best Buy, or
we'll
whatever.
give you a featured spot in the store if we get,
I hate when they do that on on albums too. We're like, buy it at Target and get the 3 B-sides.
Here's what I like the most, though, is that iTunes and Google Play don't fuck around, because iTunes and Google Play will not list your album if you have exclusive songs that are not included on it. So if you've noticed, you probably, like, Taylor Swift's album had a bunch of exclusive bullshit, and she couldn't have it up on iTunes or Google Play for sale unless she included all of the exclusives that were available at Target.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I know you can get, like, on iTunes, you can get deluxe editions of albums and then regular editions on iTunes. But...
Yep.
Oh. Good thing I buy a lot of stuff on iTunes, I guess. But yeah, because I think that's always stupid, too. I remember, I was going to say a few years ago, but it's been, like, almost 10 years now, when Smashing Pumpkins, like, reunited album, Zeitgeist, came out. and they had a different track on it depending. And I think it was like a different track listing even too, depending on where you bought it. So if you got it from Target or Best Buy, it had this track listing with this cover.
And their idea there was probably, we want people to buy multiple versions of the same album.
Yeah.
Because they realize they don't have like millions of fans. They might have hundreds of thousands of fans.
They had been broken up for years, and album wasn't that great anyway.
Yeah.
So.
But that to me seems like a marketing ploy. Yeah, I don't know. The exclusive track thing, the only way that I think it would make sense is like if you had like a fan club and they got an exclusive track because like they always buy your shit or they have frequently bought tickets or something. That's the only like space that I think giving away or like putting out content that can't be available to anybody else. Right.
Like I mean, I'm part of the Hold Steady fan club, so when they recorded like a bootleg live album themselves, I got like a download for it. Mm-hmm. So I was like, hell yeah. And you can't get it anywhere unless you're part of them. Yeah. It's almost the same as like, say you subscribe to like Mojo magazine and you get their like compilation like covers, CDs or whatever every month too.
Yeah. Or like people on Patreon, they do the same thing.
Oh yeah, like Patreon, yeah.
And that model totally makes sense to me. But that model makes sense to me though, in where it's like, it's totally fine if you are not that big of a fan that you don't want to support in this way, or like you don't want to be on our mailing list or whatever. But if you are, here are these perks.
Right.
Versus like, oh, you have to buy this album at Target to get
this,
to get track 13. But if you want track 14, you got to get it at Best Buy.
Right.
And it's like, I'm not going to buy your CD twice.
Yeah, fuck you.
What's going to happen is they're probably going to illegally download the 2 tracks.
That's what I've done.
Or the whole album.
Yeah. I've done that before, or I've had to go through... Because I've had to go through some hoops to get some bonus tracks that were like only on the Australian edition. I'm like, well, fuck, no, I want this.
Yeah.
So you have to jump through all these loops and get it. But I've done it.
Mm-hmm. Could you imagine if like TV shows did that?
If you want to get episode 23,
you have to be in this country, or you have to have this cable provider.
Oh my god. Or movies like, if you want this ending,
oh god,
see it in these states or in North America, but then here's the Chinese ending.
They do that. Yeah, different cuts.
But I mean, I guess they kind of did that with the BVS Ultimate Edition, which we didn't talk about this week.
Yeah, well, we didn't talk about because neither have seen us have seen it, and
well,
I don't
also
know
we're not gonna see it because it's bullshit. Because then, like, why wasn't this just originally released?
All I'm gonna say,
and also, it's still not gonna help the movie.
No, I don't
with
think
its problems.
If anything, it might take it from being a terrible garbage movie to being like just a confusingly garbage movie.
Because they say the editing's better, scenes are rearranged and stuff. There's more stuff, but story wise, they still stop fighting because their moms share the same name.
God, it's so fucking
stuff like that, and so it's like my favorite. You saw the picture of
that was
in the
so
Deadpool
great.
Spider-Man number 6 that came out this week.
I was laughing so hard.
There's Nighthawk versus Hyperion. Yawn of boredom. You won't believe that their moms share a common name.
Oh man, yeah, shots were fucking fired.
I would love for someone to make that poster as like a real legit poster, and I would easily hang that in my house.
Yeah,
like right in the living room. I'd be like, oh man. Well, what are we at for time?
23 minutes.
You're kidding me.
24 minutes, I guess technically. That's a decent.
We should have had Ben come over.
Yeah, we should have had somebody come over. We should have had who was over on the Christmas one or the New Year's one?
New Year's
or Christmas? It was around then.
The top. Wait, what?
The super long one that I think we cut into 3 episodes.
Oh, with Shane.
He's
hard to get a hold of. He's a busy guy. But I don't know. We could just make this a short episode.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
We're just talking about how
we're just shooting shit now.
Yeah. I don't know. What'd you do today?
Literally nothing. I woke up, drank coffee, ate breakfast, then took a shower, and then drove Ashley to work, and then came back and took a poop and packed the stuff for the podcast.
Wow, that sounds really exciting.
Yeah.
I just got my hair cut and then got a burrito for lunch. And
that sounds always delicious.
I went to Pancheros.
Still have never been.
You've never been to Pancheros?
Nope.
You gotta go sometimes. It's way better than like Chipotle.
I don't like Chipotle.
Yeah,
so.
it's. Where do you go for burritos usually?
Nowhere.
Well, then
it's sad. Yeah, it's sad because I love
queso
burritos
though too, because they put queso on. Yeah, and they make the tortilla there. It starts off with this wad of dough, and they flatten it, and they put it on the thing. So their tortillas are fresh and like sticky and stretchy.
When we played the fucking Luther College Cafe, we got free food from there, and it was like a Qdoba or like Chipotle knockoff. And I think it was called like Martin's Cafe because Martin Luther.
Right.
Not Martin Luther King Jr.
No,
but
thesis guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
But anyways, and they put queso on it, and it was so fucking good. It was like, oh, no.
Even Burrito Loco in Dinkytown is good, but I haven't been there in a while. Mostly because it's in Dinkytown, and it's also a bar, too. But
yeah.
They have good burritos for, like, a Chipotle-style burrito line.
Enough about Minneapolis eateries.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, I didn't do anything today. Because I had to drive a half hour to go to this new barber shop, and then I had to wait for like an hour because I didn't have an appointment.
Yeah.
They're pretty busy. So I just sat there and watched Sports Center on their TV. But, well, I don't really mind if this is a short episode. I have things to do.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
People probably quit listening to this.
Probably 3.5 minutes ago when we were talking about fucking the Minneapolis eateries.
Oh, probably longer than that.
Yeah.
Probably before I asked you, hey, what'd you do? This is great. This is just this is almost like beast.
This is like podcast gold.
This is like outtakes.
Yeah.
There's just more people here.
Nope. Not more people.
Nope. Okay, well, fuck. Nobody's listening to this anymore anyway. Find me online at ScottyBoy, SCOTTYBWO, 4 Ys.
3 Ys was taken. You can.
Yeah, so it's 2 and 1.
Yeah.
So now I just use 4 for everything across the board.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Continuity.
Gotta stay.
Consistency.
Gotta keep your brand consistent, right?
Yeah.
Know your brand and stick with it.
Yeah. You gotta make it like pancakes. Gotta have the right consistency.
I don't really like pancakes that much.
I'm more of a waffle guy.
Me too.
Anyways, you can find me on the internet at Hagnerd, HAGNERD. That's the Twits, that's the Instagrams, the Snapchats, all that places. You can find us on the Twits at Fuzzy Loaf. If you're listening to this on iTunes, you can find us on YouTube by searching Fuzzy Loaf. Hit subscribe, hit the thumbs up, leave us a comment, tell us we suck, and this episode is the worst episode that's ever been recorded of any podcast ever.
I think we've recorded worse.
Yeah, I think we have to. If you're listening to this on YouTube, or watching this, I guess, I don't know why you'd be watching instead of just listening in the background. You can find us on iTunes by searching Fuzzy Loaf. Click subscribe, give us a rating, a review, whatever iTunes calls it.
It can be a bad review too. Or a bad. It could be a thumbs down too. I don't care.
Share it with your friends.
I'd give this
your
episode
family.
a thumbs down.
Turn this on for your dog while you leave.
So
whoops, my phone is going off.
Oh.
And with that,
I gotta go to the store and get some stuff for my 4th of July costume.
Yep.
If you don't know what that is, it's where I dress like a fucking idiot every 4th of July. Look forward to pictures being posted online at ScottyBoy on Instagram. Because it's going to be wild this year. Last year I had a cape. This year, we're going big. We're going big, baby.
Going big or going home?
Well, I'm already home, so I'm going big. We'll smell you later, nerds.